Hello and welcome to Gel and Tell, where I do my nails and share celebrity gossip in the form of blind item. This is how I remove my nails set, whether it's gel polish or dip powder. I put my nails in pure 100% acetone and put hot water in the bottom bowl so that it heats it up like a double boiler. So today I'm going to be doing, as you saw, Terrazzo nails, which is like little paint chips in an array of colors and placed on the nail just so, which you will see. Next I will buff and file my nails, and I thought it would be fun to read the blind items I was planning to read during the buffing and filing. These blinds come from the week of October 24th. So this one was revealed, so it originally appeared on October 17th and has been revealed on October 24th. Apparently the A-list everything in her mind celebrity, which if you read blind items you know that that's J-Lo, has hired a minder for her husband, which is Ben Affleck. The minder sticks with the husband for 24 hours prior to an event so he looks his best for the red carpet with the celebrity. And doing a little digging and just remembering from years back in the tabloids, she did try to do the same thing with her ex-husband Mark Anthony, or Anthony, I can't remember how you pronounce it, but he would get drunk and like messed up with his minder, and they would both pick up women together. So that didn't really work. And this relationship in general between Ben and Jennifer, or whatever the cute little names they came up with, I have a lot of thoughts. Ben's a serial cheater. He has a gambling, allegedly, this is all alleged. He allegedly is a gambler and a cheater and has substance abuse issues. So I don't know if Jennifer does. It hasn't really been in the blinds if she does have any of those same problems. She's just a workaholic and an egomaniac, which is pretty bad too. So I don't understand why they have this arrangement. Maybe they have an arrangement, is what I was trying to say. Maybe they are married because they make more money and have more fame together than apart, but I do think monogamy is different in the entertainment industry. So, and that's according to my lifelong study of pop culture. If you want to call it a study, it's really just I escaped for many years through pop culture, and now I am continuing it in a deeper level. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Okay, this one is a Real Housewives blind. The West Coast housewife in the OG city is headed for divorce. So the OG city, of course, is Beverly Hills, and the couple headed for divorce, according to the comments, are Heather Dubrow and Terry Dubrow, and I've wondered this for a very long time. They do not act like they like each other. When they're on screen, she clearly gets annoyed with him and he with her, and they have several kids. They've been married for a very long time. But, I wouldn't be surprised if this was true. I'm done buffing and filing my nails, and they are ready to move on to the next step. So we're going to pause on the blind items for now. I use a variety of liquids, from Chiarosky to Macart to Gelish. Today I'm doing a gel, liquid, and dip powder hybrid nail for the first time. I've been seeing a lot of videos on YouTube of people doing this, and right before this I watched a video that recommended not doing gel liquids with dip powder if you have long nails, and I thought that my nails were short enough that it would be okay. But I do not recommend, with this length, to do the gel liquids and dip powder. But luckily for you guys, because it didn't last long and they started to chip, I was able to do my nails twice in 1 week. So more videos are coming. Yay. I'm using this dotting tool, which you usually pick up gel polish or nail polish and dot with. but I like to use it around my cuticles if I accidentally flood them. I also use orange wood sticks sometimes, just depending on what is within reach. I recently got these silicone muffin tin liners, and because I was trying to be a little more environmentally conscious. I know a lot of people use the throwaway muffin tin liners, but I wanted to try this out, and I'm having some success with them. The difficulty with them is cleaning them. So I tried soaking them in Dawn dish soap and then kind of using my fingers to scrub a little bit and get the acrylic powder off. But when they dried, there were still traces of powder in the little crevices. So I ended up using more Dawn dish soap, not soaking it, just spraying the dish soap right into the muffin tin liner and scrubbing it with like a dish scrub brush. And that seemed to have worked. So I'm going to give it a few more. I mean, I've done 3 or 4 sets of nails using these liners, and I'm pretty happy with them. I might eventually switch over to the disposable ones just for ease, but I'm trying my best to not add to waste, even though this is plastic and will eventually end up in the landfill. So I like to do the pour over method, especially for, not that I've done this before, but from the videos I've watched, the pour over method is vital for gel liquids. But even for dip liquids, I'm finding that I just have a lot more success pouring over, especially with these 0.25 ounce jars that I've been getting from small business owners. I'm used to the big jars. I can't remember how many ounces are in like the Kiara Sky or Gelish or, those bigger brands. The jars are bigger, but anyways, I'm finding that I'm really liking the pour over method. So now for the Terrazzo nail part. So I think I end up keeping part of it in here, but this first time, yeah, I do. So I try to pour over, and the idea with the gel liquids was that it would be stickier and able to hold on to these little Terrazzo chips that are matte colored chips, like I said before, or I said they were paint chips, but they're matte, so they're not shiny. Anyways, I thought that they would stick better, but after I kind of tap it, they all fall off. So I had to come up with another idea. So I try it another time. I try putting them on one by one, but I really need a stickier surface to do that. So I eventually file it all off and start from scratch. I tried laying it in there and pressing it down, and the gel polish is still wet, which is why I wanted to use the gel polish so that it would be a sticky surface for these little chips, these Terrazzo chips, to stick to. And if I'm pronouncing Terrazzo wrong, please correct me in the comments below. Usually I would look up how to pronounce, but it's too late. I am recording when I have a little bit of time. So now I'm trying again. I've filed off the surface, and I'm going to just add this gel base that's pretty sticky. I'm not going to cure it. I'm going to leave it sticky. I try once again to pour over to get at least one layer of powder. Now that I think about it, I should have just left that first layer that I ended up filing off, but I think I wanted to give it one more go and see if it would work, which might be the definition of insanity. Trying the same thing with the same results over and over again. It's at this point I decide to finish up the rest of my nails and to go back to that accent nail to spend more time on it. So I had posted on my Instagram stories 2 different options for this set of nails, and one of them didn't have the green and the neutral colors, and the other one had like browns and beiges. Anyways, this one with the green is what won. So this is picked by you all. this color combo to highlight the little bits of green and different colors in this Terrazzo set, which is called Toasted Marshmallow, by the way, from Marullo Nails. They're quickly becoming one of my favorite nail shops on Etsy. Check them out. I will leave the link in the description below. I've ordered more Terrazzo dips from them since this video because I really haven't seen very many others like it out there, and I think it would be fun to do all year round. I ordered one that has some like reds that might be fun for the holidays, but also is great for fall, might even work in the spring, and they have some more pastel colored ones. Just check them out is what I recommend. I'm on to my second coat for the solid nails here. Typically I like to speed this part up, but I thought I would do a little bit longer of a video with the actual speed at which I paint my nails, just so that you all can see the reality. Let me know in the comments below if you think that I use the brush too many times on my nails. I've wondered about that, especially since I started watching myself back. I wonder if it dries too much before I pour over, but it seems to not be giving me much difficulty. You'll see I struggle a little bit here to clean up the cuticle on my thumb. I have a hard time with my thumbs. Let me know in the comments below if you have a hard time using a tool around the cuticle on your thumb as well. If you haven't already, please remember to like and subscribe. I put out videos every week to 2 weeks right now, and I always include some celebrity gossip. If you're dipping and you notice after you've dipped or poured over there's still a little bit of a wet spot or a shiny spot, you're going to want to put more dip powder on that, and you can always cut down on the bulk when you file later on. I worried about that at some points, just worrying that it would be too thick if I kept adding to it, but I've learned that you can just file it down to the shape that you want. So that's what I did here. I had to go back because I noticed that there was some shiny wet spots. You may have noticed earlier when I dipped my pinky, or poured over on my pinky the first time, I left a shiny spot, and I should have dipped it back in to make sure that the color was even. At the end, you won't be able to tell very well, but I could sure tell wearing them that there was like a stripe of lighter color because I hadn't added more powder. So it looks a bit, I don't know, stripey, I guess is what I would call it. Not great. Oh, like right here. Yeah, this is what I was talking about. It wasn't earlier. It was now. I do not go back over this, and I regret it. I wish I would have, but... Oh, I did. Well, it looked really stripey, and I don't understand why. Maybe it's because I poured over it. Should I have just left it? Let me know what you think below. The word that I was searching for earlier was streaky. It looks very streaky. So now is my favorite part of doing this set. It also took the longest, but it was really fun, and it was really successful having that super sticky base gel liquid base to be able to pick up little pieces of the Terrazzo dip powder and place them on this little I don't know what to call this tool, but I'll link it below. This, like, it's got wax on one side that helps pick up, and it really works well, especially with glitter and sequins that are shiny and a little bit like stickier to pick up with this little tool that I've noticed. But I had a lot of fun, and it was really satisfying building a little pattern here, and almost like a puzzle I was fitting pieces in, or like Tetris or something. It was really relaxing, I'm not gonna lie. It was very time consuming, and I think I mentioned this earlier, but by the time I got to my right hand, I just didn't have as much patience, and it's a little more spaced out in the design, and less black pieces. I wish I would have put more black pieces on my right hand, but overall, it turned out really nice, and I had a lot of fun doing this. I'm going to spend the rest of the time, or at least most of the rest of the time that we have left, going over more blind items from the same week. This next blind comes from October 24th. Look for the A+ list singer to quietly stab the music producer in the back prior to her next original album. She knows how to read the room. So this is allegedly Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff. Taylor Swift is the artist, obviously, or maybe that's not obvious to you, and Jack Antonoff is the producer. He's also an artist. And they've been friends since 2012, according to people.com. And they've been creatively collaborating since 2013. So I think they're real friends. I know he supported her during the Scooter Braun was her manager, and he purchased the rights to her masters. So she got real pissed about that. I know Jack Antonoff supported her through that. So I personally think that this is not true. But I also listen to a podcast called Beyond the Blinds. You should check them out. And I subscribe to their Patreon. So listening to Troy and Kelly talk about, that's the host names, Troy and Kelly, they're talking about Taylor Swift and Jack Antonoff, and Kelly's been a fan since the very beginning. And she thinks that this is true and that it's only a matter of time before Taylor stabs him in the back. So, I don't know. The next one is also allegedly, according to me and the comments, about Taylor Swift. This A+ list singer keeps putting those toes out of the closet. I would even go so far as to say with her latest visual, there might even be a whole foot out of the closet. So that's just, in my opinion, 100% Taylor Swift, allegedly. And I'm a huge fan of Taylor. In fact, I am part of the fandom that calls themselves the Gaylors, which are fans that believe Taylor is queer, and we analyze her lyrics with that lens. I used to be a Hetler is the other fandom, and that is looking at her lyrics and looking at Taylor through a heterosexual lens. But that lens also happens to be mainstream media's lens. So once I started to kind of delve into Taylor's lyrics more, especially during the pandemic, I realized that there were some pretty queer clues and literature references and things like that. I don't want to get too deep into it, but maybe I'll do a separate episode at some point covering more of Taylor Swift. What I will say is you need to go check out What I Will Say on wherever you find podcasts, because that podcast is what really helped me understand Taylor's lyrics and the context of her potentially allegedly being queer. Next up is, I'll just get into it. It's from October 25th. This married A/A- list actress once again used the apartment of her former co-star while out of town. He was there too. I'm laughing because allegedly this is about Kerry Washington and Tony Goldwyn. And please tell me you watched Scandal on, I believe it's ABC. They played characters named Olivia Pope and Fitzgerald Grand. Olivia was the political fixer on the show, and Fitzgerald was the president of the United States, and she called him Fitz, and he was married in the show. The character was married, and they had an affair, and I do remember watching it when I was in college, which was a while ago. They had so much chemistry, and it was so sexy, and I loved watching them interact, and I had no idea that they were having an actual affair outside of their characters, the real actors. And they are both married, I believe, and have been hooking up. So I don't know why I think that's really funny. Cheating's terrible, but I guess it's funny from these characters, they started hooking up. It's just kind of ironic, and isn't PR. Okay, next. This is from October 27th. Is it as bad as the most recent, quote, song from the permanent A-list, quote, singer? No, it is not. However, there is only so much magic that can be done to a voice, and the foreign-born permanent A-list singer is going to have to come to terms with it. She can't be releasing songs like the one being released tomorrow. It isn't good, and I am her biggest fan. It was okay to just be rich and run your company and have everyone enjoy your legacy. So this one, I've definitely, since I wrote this and since I read this, figured out that this is Rihanna, that's how she actually pronounces her name, Rihanna, and her company, Fenty Beauty. But when I wrote this, I was debating whether it was Britney Spears, which I know she doesn't have a company, but I was thinking it fit Britney Spears or Rihanna. I thought it was Britney because of her song with Elton, and a lot of people are speculating that it was just recordings of Britney's old voice, and it truly was recordings of Elton's old voice from when he originally recorded those songs that got mashed up. But this is Rihanna. She allegedly can't sing anymore because she smoked so much pot that she ruined her voice. I'm laughing because it's a pretty ridiculous conspiracy theory, but if it's true, wow. So then she did come out with those 2 songs that are in the soundtrack for Black Panther Wakanda Forever. But they're terrible, and you can tell that they're mashups from her voice over her songs from years ago, so maybe she doesn't have a voice allegedly. I don't know. The plot thickens. That does it for blind items for this video. Please remember, all of these blind items are alleged. I do not write blinds, I just read them, and these are from Crazy Days and Nights, which is a blog written by entertainment lawyer, and we call him Enty. The community calls him Enty. You can look them up yourself. I've linked a link below to Crazy Days and Nights, so just take a look. They come out daily. Let me know in the comments below what you think of today's blind items and my nails, and if you have any suggestions on topics to cover or ways to do my nails, or if you have suggestions on colors to try next, just really anything. I just want to connect with you. That'd be wonderful. To finish off, I'm using cuticle oil, that's what it's called, from Kiara Sky to rehydrate my cuticles. So thank you for joining me today and staying to the end of the video. I am really happy with how my nails turned out. Please like and subscribe and leave me a comment below. I would remind you that my nails did chip the next day and they further chipped the day after, so I wouldn't recommend doing gel liquids with dip powder for this length of nail. Or maybe you have a suggestion below on how I could make them stronger and not chip.